Tonight, how to achieve rapid growth despite wild market shifts. Featuring the accomplished coach and trainer, Kelly Roach. Kelly has also published several best-selling books. Prepare to discover why Kelly is the host of a successful podcast with over 1,000 episodes. So let's welcome your host, Liam, and our special guest, Kelly Roach.
I tell you what, people get excited, Kelly, when we do that, because I introduce myself when I do my stuff. I say, ladies and gentlemen, this is Liam, because I got that voice, and they get all excited. But we had so much material for you. I didn't know how. I told Zach, I said, just take what you want. You can't go wrong. But thank you for coming to the show. And I know you're busy. And that's a good thing, because you're going to tell everybody else how to get busy as well. I want to go over a couple of housekeeping things real quick, and then we'll start with you. Those of you that saw us last week, I think we had 1,000 people that came in last week from the replay and all that. A lot of you wanted the report, but you didn't give us your email, so you didn't get the report. So if you want Joe's report, Joe and Jim's report on the stuff that we talked about on the Roth conversion, you need to get us your email with that. So Heather's going to regroup and get with you. Those of you that are watching tonight, I know Heather's going to put hashtag live, hashtag replay. But if you didn't get the report from last week, put hashtag report, and Heather will get that for you as well. And then the week after this, we have Michelle Graves will be coming. That's Don Graves' little sister. I think she might be his big sister, but I'm going to help her and say she's his little sister. But Don Graves is going to be on in May. But Michelle will be on next week, and she's the author of the Money Lady, and she's going to be doing some great things as well. And then we've got Joe coming back with one of his people, and then Heather will be the week after that, and then we'll be having a real special guest, the Baby Boomer Dilemma, the guy that does a lot of marketing with them, Joseph Moffat. He will be on. That is the first movie, and you wouldn't know, Kelly, because I know it's not your industry, but it was the first financial movie that was really, really well done. And Joe uses a lot of that for marketing, so he's going to be on in May, and we'll be going from there. So there's my housekeeping. Again, if you are excited tonight and you're getting value, put down hashtag value. Make sure you do that. Heather's already doing all that good stuff for me. And no more wasted time. Kelly, we are glad to have you. Say hi to my people.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here with you. Thanks for having me.
Well, one of the things that everybody was talking about when we were talking about the show tonight and how to achieve, growth in this crazy market. I know that, some of the current trends of today are a little bit different. So kind of tell us a little bit about what you do, a little about who you are. I think I overdo it, because I always just try to. People say I butter everything or put a little mustard on everything. So I'm going to let you tell the real story. I tell everybody you do it all. You're a corporate lady trainer. You can train small groups. You can train individuals. You can do it all. But tell them what you do, where you're at, and then maybe get into the trends of the market today if you can.
Yeah, absolutely. So, my name is Kelly Roach. It's nice to meet you all. And I'm a business growth strategist and a peak performance mentor. And I help business owners install systems in their business for scale. So sales, marketing, customer acquisition, team KPIs. And ultimately, I help people to build freedom-based businesses that allow them to take back their time and build what will become a sellable asset one day. So I love helping individuals take their dream and take their vision for their business and actually build the right systems, people, and processes to make those dreams come true. And I started my first company in 2012. Fast forward to today, we became one of the only 8-figure female-led businesses in the online space. We've been on the Inc. 5000 list multiple times. We've had the honor of teaching over 1,000 people the live launch method, which is a methodology for acquiring volumes of customers at once so that you can make big big leaps in your business and get a far reaching ROI and brand authority. And, what are the trends that I'm seeing today? Well, first of all, people are really investing in buying relationships. They want to work with organizations that are very human centric and customer focused. And that might sound very simple and basic, but in today's world where people are so focused on leaning out their teams and automation and digitizing things, a lot of people are very frustrated with the experience of investing in things and then not getting the support to be able to truly get an ROI or to get a result from them. So one of the easy ways to really stand out in today's market is to be customer facing, to focus on really investing in relationships with your customers and driving lifetime value. So that's one of the big things. I would say the other big thing is live streaming. The live launch is having a huge resurgence right now, where we're seeing that our customers are having just a ton of fun and a lot of success, making big leaps in their business with live streaming and using the live launch method in particular. So really bringing people down a pathway, teaching and serving and giving them actionable steps to take right away, and then inviting them to take that step into your business. And the third thing I'll share, and then I'll turn it back over to you, Liam, is that our customers are having a lot of success really building internal buyers lists. And with the market changes that have happened, market saturation, inflation, consumer mentality, kind of the buying process has slowed down. People are being more careful and putting more thought and consideration into the investments that they're making. We're really finding that an internal buyers list is super make or break. And the best way to think about an internal buyers list is you are selling to your own people. You're selling to your current customers, your past customers, people that have attended launches of yours in the past, people that have been in your ecosystem, they're hanging out in your Facebook group, they're in your world, right? In the past, when the market was exploding and the economy was booming, it was kind of like easy come, easy go, right? And you would have all these leads kind of hanging out on social media, in your Facebook groups, on your email list, and you would hope that they would just take action when they were ready to buy. Whereas now it's more important than ever that you're really clear on who your best buyers, who the premium buyers in your ecosystem are, and that you're investing in proactively staying in touch with them, moving them through the buying process and getting them to the close.
Yeah, one of the things that I agree with you on, and Drew's one of our best guys. He's one of our helpers in the background, and he's always super sharp. And we've been butting heads. He's like, maybe we should just do one live a month because we give all this stuff away. And I said, no, I want to do more lives, right? I get guests like you, and I do, and I get what he's saying. I don't do enough of them by myself, but I can interject. I'm a great host. But anyway, I'm real good at. I can get what I need to say. I don't have to have. That's what I like to do. And so we butt heads a little bit. But I told him, I said, listen, I want to do more lives. Like the other thing that we're doing is we're doing more webinars. We're doing more podcasts. We've got the Babe Ruth Bucket podcast. We got the Exception to the Rule podcast, which I got to get you on that one, because just the title alone, the exception to the rule, plenty of explanation life, but no excuses. And we have anybody come on that show. We just kind of tell people that, how you do it. Now, the thing that I like the best about what you were saying there just a second ago was that on, like we have 7,600 agents. That's our buyer list, if you would say. And some of them are do our paid membership, and we do special things. And then, that's what we'll talk to Gabrielle about. If you have a special thing that they can get for a lower price, we'll put it on the paid membership. Now, they don't have to, our membership's $97 a month. So I always tell them, if you can't afford $97 a month, you probably shouldn't be in the business. But, we're still working that little kink out. But we got a handful of people that, that are regular. And I do help them a lot. And we bring them on, we do shows for them. They're allowed to take our lives and put them on their pages, so they don't have to worry about it, all that kind of stuff. So they get a lot of value for what they're doing. But so when I talk with Gabrielle, I'll ask her, what is it that we could give, to the paid clients, and the people that aren't paid can still get it, but you got to charge them a little bit more. That's all I want you to do. But anyway, as you were talking about the internal buying list, and you're talking about the return of investment and all that kind of stuff, the biggest thing I think that kind of rolls into that what are the current trends that you see in today's market?
Well, yeah. So, I mean, let's just break it down, right? If you look at a chart of business closures in the back half of 2023, and this trend has continued in 2024, it is an absolute hockey stick, right? Business closures are through the roof. If you look at layoffs in the first quarter, layoffs across Fortune 500 firms are across the board, just massive, right? And what's interesting is this chaos and kind of this craziness in the market creates a really big opening for the people that want to lean in and step up and really take advantage of it. Because when the market is contracting and there's a lot of uncertainty in the market, what happens is people slow down on advertising, they cut back their team, they cut back on the benefits to their clients. All of those things are what stands in the way of growth. So the number one thing I would say right now is to understand that you actually have less competition than you think right now, because so many people are kind of like pulling back and sitting on the sidelines. So the trends that I'm seeing is the customers that are investing in advertising are absolutely getting a great ROI. However, you need to make sure that you have a great nurture process for those leads, because the second big trend is that people are sitting in the ecosystem longer before they're buying. Now they're sitting in the ecosystem for like 3, 6, 9 months before they're making a buying decision. So you need to make sure you have a great weekly email newsletter. You have to stay in front of your prospective customers. You need to make sure that you realize that they're going to be hanging out in your world for a while. And if you're not putting great resources in front of them, they're going to forget about you before they ever get to the buying process. So advertising, absolutely. There's great talent on the market right now. If you're looking to expand and build your company and your team, now's the time to do it. There's so many great people on the market, and so many of your peers are not only not hiring, but they're contracting. And, I would say just a continuation of what we've seen is that social media is absolutely the super highway for sales. So the better you get at building an effective social media strategy and moving people from social media to your email list, to your conversion events, the more that you're just going to see your business grow and grow and grow.
Well, and I think, one of the things that we found out, and again, it's all, sometimes it's just hit and miss, but I've got a real good team behind me, even though, and I tell people all the time, even though like me and Drew or me and Heather or whoever, we butt heads sometimes, but I tell people the biggest mistake people make in this world and in this industry is they don't bring their people out of the shadows. My people can say whatever they want. They can give me whatever ideas, and Drew may be right, but I have the final say, and that's it. But they do a lot of good for me, and they're really good at helping me stay focused too, But I think one of the things that we learned was I spent thousands and thousands of dollars, really lots of money on ad space. Well, when we started making the difference was when we started doing the lives, when we started doing the groups, when we started doing, didn't cost anything to set up a group. We have Heather and Colleen, and they got a new guy that's going to be talking in a couple of weeks again, bringing them back, showing people how to set up a group. Some people don't know how to do that, and it's niche selling, right? Find your niche. Like Colleen does dental hygienist, and Heather does retired, government employees, and everybody, mine's just a wide open. I'm the America's retirement coach because I'm retired, so I try to help everybody else that wants to be retired. So I think that's another thing that I think people. And I know you do well at it. Some of the other things that you do now, do you have, what are your thoughts on the groups, and give them a couple of ideas of some of the things that I know you started way back in 2012. Doesn't seem like long ago now, but it's 2024. Yes. And so, tell us a little bit about where you kind of maybe made that change from, or maybe, and I know ads are still important. I'm not saying that, but don't just focus on ads. Am I wrong?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, if you don't have a strategy behind your ads for the nurture process, then you're basically throwing your money in the street, because the buying climate has changed, right? Back a couple years ago, you would run an ad, someone would come in through an ad, and they would make a buying decision in a conversion event, whether it was direct to consultation or it was into a launch or whatever the case, right off the bat. Whereas now people will typically come in and they might be sitting in your ecosystem for a much longer period, which means that if you're running ads, but then you don't have a nurture process behind it, you're kind of up a creek. Now, you asked about Facebook groups. People are, oh, it's so funny because people are constantly saying like, Facebook groups are dead. Facebook groups are dead. Facebook groups are absolutely not dead. We have made millions upon millions of dollars from our Facebook groups. And it's amazing when you learn how to use them correctly. So, number one is you have to be actively and consistently providing value. If you have people come to your Facebook group and there's nothing going on there, and they come in and it kind of feels dead and there's not a lot of value add, then they're going to leave and they're never going to come back. And what happens is it will not pop up in their feed anymore. So they'll stop seeing even your notifications of your posts. So, you have to give them a reason to keep coming back. Number one. Number two, you have to make sure that your team is actually engaging with the leads that are coming there. So qualifying them using the Facebook group questions and then moving them into a friend request and a DM so that you can actually create two-way communication. And then making sure that there's live streams happening there regularly, making sure that there's opportunities for people to stay connected and engaged in your community. And to your point earlier, Liam, I completely agree with what you said about bringing your team out of the shadows. I mean, my team launches without me. My team is on camera. They're selling, they're marketing the business, they're in photography, they're live on camera. I mean, they're everywhere. And that's how we multiply and duplicate across my companies, because you can't build the brand with only one person, right? There has to be a team behind the dream.
Yeah, and one, and my guys, and girls that I have, one of the things that we talked about when we brought you on the show, I said, I want to bring powerful women on the show. I don't want it to be, what's the old thing, white guy, whatever the stupid saying is. People know you're a woman. I don't have to announce that. Yeah. They're going to know next week that Michelle's a black woman, and then I've got Don. He's a black. Nobody cares, right? But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to let people understand that we are that diversified, in the sense that I want people to know that it's not just me, right? And it's the connections that we have, right? And I know that you're doing us an honor, to be here. You're really great at what you do, and I know it says a lot about you coming on here and talking to us, and you're already giving a lot of great things to people. And I think the thing about working with a team, I tell people it's so important to have a good team behind you. It's like my wife is incredible, right? I mean, she carries a bucket of water wherever we go because I put my foot in my mouth all the time, and so I need something to wash it down with. So she's always carrying that bucket of water. But anyway, you don't know how true that is. But anyway, so that's what I'm saying. Having a good team behind you, having a good group that you can count on, like you said. What if you can't go on vacation for 2 weeks without looking at your phone, you don't have a business. That's the way I tell. If you can't do it without them, then you don't have a business. Like Heather goes on vacation all the time, and somehow she talks me into paying her the entire time she's gone. And so she'll take months off, and we don't even miss her. That's not true. We miss her. She's got so much to do when she gets back. I know she's down here laughing at me because she does a great job. But we're able to run things without her because she does such a good job with the people that she works with. Drew's a phenomenal guy. He does a lot of great stuff as well, and Zach, and of course Colleen. And then we just brought on another gentleman, friend of mine, Matt, who's going to be doing some great things. He used to put together the shows for the Academy Awards, if that tells you. We're really moving up. We're almost catching you, Kelly. We're almost catching you. So the one thing about providing value and then the engagement. So you would agree then that having guests on like yourself, or having a different kind of things to get people, it keeps. I don't want to use the word flavor, but it keeps it exciting. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
That you have. When you do your show, like I'm doing your 5-day class on what is it called? My mind's not working.
A live lunch. Yeah.
On the launch. And I know you were probably surprised to see me in there, but I've been there 2 days. I'll be there tomorrow. I'm going to do your 5-day launch.
I love that.
We'll get it. We'll put that out so they can get on here too. They can get on there the next time you do it. But that you're really teaching a lot of cool things. So when you do your podcast, do you have guests as well and different things as well, or what do you do?
Yeah, I absolutely do. So I like to bring guests into the podcast to talk about topics that are not in my area of specialization, right? Because people come to listen to me, they come to listen to the theme of the show, they come to learn from me. But then, of course, there's things beyond just my frame of reference and my particular skill set that people are interested in. So then I bring in guests that can come and speak about topics that I know would be interesting to me that also are kind of complementary topics that I know would be interested to my audience. Yeah.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
I'm telling you there's a chance. I'm telling you there's a chance.
There you go. That a girl. So let's look at this, because I had a guy in California and he was kicking and screaming. They said, you gotta talk to Liam. He's a great coach. You gotta talk to him. So finally he breaks down and he talks to me, and he says, and by the end of the coaching session, he's like, I really didn't want to do this. He goes, this is the best thing I've ever done. He goes, I'm successful. I don't need any of this. And he found out he did need it. I have a coach, right? I let Mike help me a lot. You know what I mean? I can see learning from you, right? I mean, that's what networking is. It's really coaching just on a different level. And so my next question would be, what should they look for in a coach?
Yeah, well, I mean, most importantly, you want to look for someone that you would be proud to model, right? And you want to look for someone that's done what you want to do, right? So if you're going to learn from a coach to teach you how to do 7-figure launches, you better make sure that the person has done 7-figure launches. If you want to learn from someone how to build an 8-figure business, you better go and make sure you're learning from someone who's built an 8-figure business. And I know that sounds really like common sense, but I am constantly blown away by people that are frustrated that come to me and say, I hired so-and-so to teach me how to do ABC, XYZ. And, you look at that coach, or you look at that person and you say, well, that person can't possibly teach you how to do this because they haven't done it, right? You can't give something to someone that you have never experienced yourself. So make sure that you're asking for and seeking advice from people who are where you want to be in that particular area of expertise. Make sure that you would want to model what they're doing, how they're doing it, right? It's very different to come and learn from me, for example, who I have a 10-year-old daughter. I'm married. The focus of my life is family. It's presence, it's legacy, it's experiences, right? That's one type of coach. But then other types of coaches are more single. They're focused on buying cars and, flying in private jets, and their whole focus of their life is about acquisition. And, it's very much about leveraging debt and, a very different kind of realm. Whereas I'm more about like freedom, right? And living debt free and having great experiences and putting my family and my faith at the forefront of my life and having time to exercise and pray and be present with my family every day. Well, those are two completely different people, two completely different lifestyles. One's not right and the other's wrong. It's just, what are you aspiring to in your life? Go learn from someone that is walking that walk in their own life, right? So someone that's walking the walk that you want to walk, someone that has achieved what you want to achieve, someone that's doing it in a way that you would want to do it, right? And I think also someone that embodies the values that are important to you. Like, what are the values that you have, and is what they're teaching and how they're teaching it in alignment with the way that you want to go about achieving that goal? Because if you think about it, there's a lot of different ways that you can go about getting to the same end result, right? So you want to make sure that the path that coach is going to take you down is the road that you want to walk to get there. And I think if it's just, if you put some thought into, why you're hiring this person, what the outcome is that you want to achieve, how you want to feel in the process of achieving it, what your life priorities are, business priorities are, etc., that will really help you choose the right person to study with and to learn from.
Yeah, when I first started years ago in the insurance business, I started 6 months behind everybody else, and I was 20-some years old, and I remember they put me with this agent that'd been in the business for 30 years. He was the sales manager, and they said, well, nobody's ever made the trip in 6 months, so just learn from him, and then next year we'll get you ready. And I never won a trip. I'm 24 years old. I got 4 kids under the age of 5. It was exciting to me, and I said, well, I'm going to win the trip. They said, well, good luck for that. And I said, well, wait a minute. So I go in and talk to, and the guy's name is JR. And I said, JR, how many trips have you won? 30 years in the business. I'm thinking 15, 20, maybe 25. Zero. He hadn't won a trip ever.
Oh, no.
And then there's another guy, Mark Wolf, 4-year manager, top manager in the state, was in our office. I go into his office. He's a bricklayer. He came from the bricklaying business. So so how can this guy be whatever? He never missed a trip. And I said, get me off of his staff, put me on. Nothing against JR. Love the guy. Really taught me some great things. But he wasn't going to get me where I wanted to be. And I was the first one out of 9,000 agents to make the trip in 6 months.
That's amazing.
So that's exactly what you're talking about, and I see so many, I make the statement and I get butchered for it. 90% of people should not be speaking. I didn't say they couldn't, I said they shouldn't. And I tell people, here's what I'm trying to say to people. If you can only carry a conversation for 5 or 10 minutes exciting, then stop. There's your speech, right? Me and you could carry a crowd for 2-3 hours. They wouldn't miss a beat. I tell people I can go on and teach after lunch on ethics, and no one would fall asleep, right? So I mean, everybody's different. But I tell people it's not that you can't and you shouldn't. It's that you gotta know where you're at. And I think people and it's the same thing with coaching. Like I told you, the first person that came to my office was 24 years old and was going to coach me. And I said, no, you're not. I said, I got grandkids that are that way. So I think, with what you're saying, it's going to roll into our next question. I think you have to figure out, what has this person done? Do your homework on these people. Like I said, when I met you, I was just watching your stuff on the internet, and I know you're like, who's this nutcase bugging me about coming on his show, And I know Irma, she might be listening. I did the same thing to her. And she's like, she's on vacation now, but hopefully she'll come on the show too. But I want people to know, and I want to clear something up. You have a lot of powerful women that you have helped. I know that, but you do help men as well. Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We love our men. We want more men to help. Absolutely.
No, I'm just saying that's one of your directions, but you also help. You also I'm the same way, right? Do you help women? I'm like, yeah, we help women. That's why we're bringing you on. That's why we got Michelle coming on. So forth and so on. So the next thing I want to roll into is, what do you specialize? From your coaching perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. So I specialize in helping service-based entrepreneurs to sell high ticket, really hands-on products, programs, and services. And so when I say service-based, the difference between a service business and a product business is a product business, there's a physical, tangible widget, right? Whereas a service-based business would be, maybe it's an accountant, maybe it's a bookkeeper, maybe it's a realtor, maybe it is, a doctor of some kind, right? It's not a physical product. It is a transformation. It is a result. It is an outcome of some kind. And so we help people to price, package, position, develop their go-to-market strategy, and install sales and marketing systems to acquire customers at scale.
Okay. Now I want to finish with this, because I want to get into something I think is very special, and it's give her courage, but we're going to do that at the end. That means a lot, because I do stuff with making the difference, and I want to give you that opportunity. Plus, I want you to let people know how they can get a hold of you. And also let them know when you're going to have Liam on your show. We can hold that for the next time. Anyway, I keep pushing it. How do you grow? This is the meat and potatoes. This is where we came here for. How do you grow in a down market, Kelly?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the number one most underplayed hand of all time is you grow by increasing your market share in your own customers. Everyone assumes that their customers are spending all of the money that they have with them already. And this is the most false assumption ever. Okay. So in your customer base, whatever your average spend is that your customer spends with you, there is always a segment of your own customers who would invest in a mid-tier and a high-tier VIP luxury experience, really hands-on, high-end service, right? And so number one is expanding your market share within your own customers. Number two is reactivating your past customers. These are the people that know, like, trust you and have gotten results with you in the past. So that's number two. And then number three is really focusing on growing your referral base, because your current customers, your past customers, and your referral base, these are pre-sold leads that already have instilled in them the experience of buying from you or working with you or having a relationship with someone who has, which is going to make it a lot easier for you to get them across that buying line really, really quickly. Now, that said, we've seen massive customer acquisition growth in the first quarter of the year with brand new customers using the live launch method. So I think that the bottom line, Liam, is that if you pivot from doing business in a transactional way to a very relationship-oriented way, you can grow even in a downturn. But the easiest, lowest lying fruit for any business owner in a down market is increasing market share in your current customer base, getting them to spend more money, stay longer, bundle up their services, up level the product that they're investing in with you, reactivating your past customers, and really driving those ready to buy referrals from your own ecosystem.
As far away from our market as you are in the financial world, it's exactly how it works in the financial world. I tell people all the time, fortunately, I retired at 50. I'm 57. I write books. I train. I play a lot of golf 4 days a week. And so one of the things that I tell people is that, if you're twiddling your thumbs, get out of your office. Go take somebody to lunch that can help you make money. Go and play golf with somebody that can make you money. And I tell people the other thing that I do, when I first started in the business, I wrote one person a day, right? Because the record was like 13 weeks. I did it for 97 weeks. And so until I moved and went to a different company, because somebody told me I couldn't do it. That's how I motivate. And so what I did though is I wrote a term policy, and I'm not, I'm not getting into all that. But the term policies were easy. They were cheap money, $7, $10 sales, nothing. But I wrote 365 of those for over 10 years, and I got 3,650 clients over that period. So when markets were down, when things were bad, do you think I couldn't go to my filing cabinet, pull out 50 people and go see them? What's the easiest client to talk to? One you already have. Am I wrong?
Exactly. And this is why it's the most timeless, underutilized strategy. And it works in any industry with any type of product or service. And that's the thing, is like, it always gets overlooked. People are always reaching for that new bright, shiny object instead of looking at the thing that's right in front of them that could be monetized immediately.
The new book that I got coming out in 2 weeks called The Closer's Edge. I was going to write it just for financial people. I said, no, I can sell ice cream to an Eskimo. So I made it for everybody, right? Of course, you'll get a signed copy. I'll get that to you. But the point of the book is to teach people there's all kinds of closing technique that works in every single industry. And I tell people that I can walk into almost any business and tell them what they're doing wrong, right? And they say, how do you do that? Well, it's just a knack. It's just like my wife did a bunch of Eclipse shirts, right? I said, why are we not doing I Survived Eclipse shirts? Hello, we're selling more of those than we did the ones that the Eclipse was coming, right?
Yeah.
And I can do that anywhere, like, and I've had that talent. And I tell people, I go into car lots. So I say, here's what you're doing wrong. Every time your guy gives a business card out, he's got his name on it and the other guy's crossed out. So it tells me he either just got there or he's not staying long. Get your own business card. It's all about image, right? It's all about perception. Yes. And I think sometimes we make that mistake, that perception's a big part of selling. Now, one of the things that I get attacked for, I will not wear a tie. I'll wear a jacket, maybe a nice shirt. I will not wear a tie. And it's all because the politicians wear ties, and we all know what they're about, right? So I just won't wear one. I mean, I've had to turn down speaking engagement. Oh, you got to wear a tie. I ain't wearing a tie. Not doing it. I wear it around my waist. I ain't doing it. So anyway, I want to finish with two things. I want you to tell people how they can get a hold of you, and if you don't mind, what I like to do with people that come, I like to take, because you have shareable stuff on your stuff. I share it to our page, and people can keep following you, and they can see what you're doing, especially if you have something that's an offer to them. And we're going to come up with something with your lady for the paid clients to get a little special offer. But tell them how to get a hold of you, and then when you're done, you don't even have to stop and bring me back. I want you to talk about Give Her Courage, that the thing that you're a part of and that you created. So have us do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, definitely the best place to keep the relationship going is to come and listen to the Kelly Roach show. That's where I pour my heart, my strategy, my inspiration, my everything. Every single week I release new episodes. Liam's going to be coming on the show. So
Just
Kelly
announced it.
Roach.
You just announced
There,
it.
there you go. See, I told you. You said there's a chance. So the Kelly Roach Show, definitely. And then come find me. I'm Kelly Roach Official on Instagram, and you can literally just pop in my inbox and say, "Hey, Kelly, I heard you on the show with Liam. Want to learn more about how I can work with you or how I can grow my business? Whatever." So just pop in my inbox, Kelly Roach Official on Instagram, and just on Facebook, it's just Kelly Roach. Just Kelly Roach. Look me up.
Heather, type that stuff in for us on the chatter box
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So
Since we're on Facebook now, just you can tag my personal page and then people can come follow and get the content and see what it's all about.
well, now,
And give her courage. Yeah.
no, I was just saying, as important as all that is, I've been waiting for this part. To give her courage. Now, I've got a foundation, and I'm a Christian, and I give and I do things. But you were telling us a little bit about this in the green room about this, and I told you I wasn't going to cut you out, but I just want to make sure we get this, because give her courage is pretty special to you, and I want you to tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I created Give Her Courage, gosh, I guess now 7 years ago. And the focus is really instilling courage and confidence in young girls. We know that basically by age 8, the psyche is formed. And this is the point at which girls' self-confidence just kind of drops through the floor. And so the goal is to get to girls before that age and to start instilling leadership, self-worth, positive belief systems, good self-image, communication skills, entrepreneurial mindset, all of those things. And it's really just about sending the value ladder back down, like sending that elevator back down to the next generation, to build legacy, to create future leaders, and to help girls see their potential to make their dreams come true.
Well, and what are some of the things that you do to do that? Do you have like the Girl Scouts have Girl Scout meetings, and they sell the
Yes. So we do something called the Courage Academy. And in the Courage Academy, we actually teach sessions where girls can come and learn about all of those topics that I just talked about. They also get to meet other girls from around the globe. They get to network. They get to learn how to navigate Zoom and all of those things. And actually, the next cycle that we're running in August, we're doing a virtual camp in the evenings. It's going to be a week long. And we're going to teach girls about like business and podcasting and creating vision boards and how to practice presenting to one another and all of that. So just working on self-confidence, working on how to, lead and speak positively and connect with other people. So that's what's kind of coming up for us.
Well, and you've had a special guest on, your daughter, yes?
Yeah, we've had many special guests, and we have a podcast as well under the Courageous brand, Give Her Courage, called Courageous Conversations. So we do that for free every single week, as well as a way for people to just come and, be a part of these conversations and help, women and girls to really step into their greatness.
Well, but what I was saying was your daughter's actually been on a couple of those, right?
Oh yeah. Madison has actually done some live streams with me. And that's one of the biggest reasons, obviously, why I started Give Her Courage, is I wanted to create something, all the things that I wanted Madison to learn that I knew she wasn't going to get anywhere else. I poured them into Give Her Courage. So Madison can learn with me and through me, but so can all the other girls that want to access these things.
I want to caution you, because she's gonna overdo you. When I introduce my wife, it's over. No one wants to talk to me. When Angie gets in the picture, Heather will talk to her. We'll be doing the thing. Hey, Heather, say hi to Angie, and then they just start talking. And then I'm done. That's it. So be careful, because she's 10 now, right? She's 10 years old. Yeah, she's at that age where she's going to just take over by the time she's 13. So
I am ready. I am so focused on legacy at this point. I'm like, it's yours. Take the ball and run.
Other than the launch thing that I'm doing for 5 days, what's your next big thing coming up? And now the launch, will you do that again in a couple of weeks, or is it?
We do that. Yeah, we do that basically every 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, I have 6 companies, so I basically rotate around. I'm always doing something. I'm always live teaching something that can help entrepreneurs to grow, because all of the companies are basically formed with one central purpose, which is helping entrepreneurs to make their dreams come true. And they each tackle solving a different problem that we know entrepreneurs face. So if you follow me on the podcast, follow me on Instagram, or come and connect with me on Facebook, you'll always see kind of what the next thing that I have coming up is that you can participate in.
Well, and we're going to let something out of the box, because people don't know this. They know that I was with Tom Hagna in Puerto Rico doing a mastermind, and I've talked you into doing masterminds, either virtual or in person with us. So Kelly is going to join the team for masterminds. And so
Yeah.
those of you that are interested in masterminds with me and Kelly, put hashtag mastermind, and we'll see how that's going to work. But I would love to have you on location, and I know getting that to happen would be a struggle maybe at times. But if we put it out 6 months from now, maybe we can pull it off. But you can definitely do the virtual, and you do very well at that. So I think that would be good. But the other thing that they don't know is that not only are we starting to do the masterminds, but we're also going to have the mastermind for our paid clients, our paid members, to where we're going to have open call once a month. And we might have Kelly as our guest. We might have Tom Hagna. We might have, Phil Graham. We don't know who we might have. But that's another thing that we're adding, because, one of the things that Mike Drigger does, my coach, he has open office hours twice a week. And it's very helpful, because even if you've already got most of whatever, you can listen to other people and you can help them. It's a networking thing as well. But you can also take the time to find something else out. But we should always stay coachable. Yes?
Yes. Always stay coachable. Always stay coachable.
I think that's a mistake sometimes that we make with people that that in that position. When you become uncoachable, I think sometimes it might be time to hang it up, because if you can't, I sat there the other day and I watched this comedian. He had to be in his 80s, and he was hilarious. He's a grandpa. He talked about grandpa stuff, and I thought to myself, what a guy. Awesome. He probably wanted to be a comedian his whole life, and now he's done with his life, and he's not done with his life. You know what I mean? He's doing something. I just thought it was really pretty incredible that he's at 80 years old. He's funny. He really is funny, because you got to imagine, you're that old, you've been through a lot of things, and you can talk about that. So I'm going to finish with you saying goodbye. Say whatever you want to say. We're gonna go to our outro, but thank you so much for coming. I hope you had as much fun as we did. Awesome. Thank you so much. You guys say goodbye.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. This was wonderful. I got a lot of value out of the conversation, and I hope I'll see you in my Instagram inbox or over on my Facebook page. And don't forget that if you dream it, you believe it, you do the work, you can achieve it. So I'll see you guys on the flip side.
Thank you so much.